God, that Mark 23 is huge. Hey everybody, what's up? All right, we're going to talk about point shooting / not using your sights versus using your sights, proper sight alignment, sight picture. Now we all know what sight alignment, sight picture is. If you don't, here it is. Now, sight picture is the proper sight alignment on your target. So if you're like, man, I need to liberate that brain matter right there, you put that sight alignment right where you want the bullet to go, and that is your sight picture. Then there's the school of point shooting. I've made a video about this already, but I got rid of it. It was too preachy and a little too harsh. But there's a massive discussion on a Facebook thing on somebody's pro-gun or pro-tactics Facebook. And then recently, my YouTube friend there, we haven't met, but good dude, the old 1911 made a video. And I liked his video. It was really good. It was kind of like a tell me what you think kind of thing. Point shooting is great and all, but it's not a viable solution to the problem. There are many people out there that are like, all you gotta do is put that gun out and start ripping rounds. It's gonna hit the target. And then there's some people that are like, every shot you take needs to be perfect match excellence. When the reality is it's kind of somewhere in the middle. But you still need to use your sights. Point shooting, in my opinion, is an emergency thing. It's, oh shit, somebody's right on top of me. Or they're running at you and they're already really, really close. Or they're touching you, or they're laying on you, or you're struggling, or whatever. That's when you point shoot. Point shooting 99% of the time is when you can't get the gun to eye level. That's more what point shooting is. But there are people that think, it's really two trains of thought, that if you square yourself off and just present the gun, you can start shooting quicker to get your hits on target faster because you don't have as much time. The other school of thought is, these people are shooting faster than I can comprehend. They'll watch people run guns and run them very well, quickly and effectively, and they can't comprehend that that person spends hours at the range shooting thousands of rounds, just mastering their weapon and their craft. So they think that by point shooting, they're going to get a hit faster and it's going to be more accurate. And you'll get lucky. I mean, if you do it close enough, you'll get lucky. But the reality is, it's not a sound practice, especially under stress. The only two times I've been trained to use point shooting is this. The Navy handgun night fire course, the first course of fire, it's 6 rounds, 3 2-shot strings, is they put a target out to 2 or 3 meters, I don't know, and they cut the lights out. And they use ambient lighting. And by ambient lighting, they mean somebody has their garage light on 5 miles away. It is not that great. Well, based on your RSO, I don't know. So what they'll do is they'll just call the course of fire. So you are at the low ready position already, and then you bring the gun up right in front of you, which you can barely see, and you fire 2 shots. You're already squared off of the target, it's close range, and it's to simulate you were going to shoot this person anyway. You're going to shoot this threat anyway, but the lights are out now. For whatever reason, there's no lights. It's not you chase this dude down in the dark for 15 miles, and now you're going to shoot him with no light, no PID on your target. It's, hey, whatever happened just happened. You don't have any lights. You got to just shoot your gun. And it's from repetition of sight alignment, sight picture, that you go to that spot, that muscle memory, and you touch those rounds off. The other reason is, again, like I said earlier, somebody's on top of you, where you can just clear the gun out of your holster, turn it sideways, or have it at waist level and just start touching rounds off into their stomach or their body somewhere to give them that rapid blood pressure reduction or central nervous system stimulus, as we like to say. That's really the only time you want to point shoot. Every other time you want to use your sights, because there's a direct correlation between handguns with shitty sights and shitty accuracy. You know, you don't want to take a Ruger LCP to a 100-meter match. And are there guys that do it? Yes. They're like, oh, I can shoot this gun at 100 meters. That's great, dude. Good for you. You don't want to do that. You want to have the most consistent sights with the most obnoxious dots or inserts or whatever, so that you pick them up in a stressful situation. Your sight alignment, sight picture, if you practice it enough and you get good at it, you'll be able to rapidly present the weapon, get your sight alignment, sight picture, and start touching rounds off. There's a reason that most of my pistols have the Meprolite night sights on them. You know, I have them on, I think, 5 guns now. My P30L is going to get them, and my other HK45C is going to get them. But you see them on most of my guns. The reason for that is because those are the most obnoxious sights I have and easiest for me to pick up at close range. The other sights I have are either the glow-in-the-dark Luminova sights on the stock HKs and these two. The Mark 23 sights, which are actually excellent. These are excellent sights. I've never had issues picking those up quickly or aligning them despite how long the gun is. That thing points so naturally and so well, and it's a beautiful thing. The other sights I have, which are also great, are the Heine straight 8s, and the front blade is painted this violent orange. The You Can't Miss Me orange. It's even great in no light. You can see that. And then, you know, the Siglite night sights are also great. Those are solid because they're easy to pick up and they're violent at night. They glow so hard. Those are the sights you want. And those people that are really, really fast, they go to the range and they practice. They practice, 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 practice. So it becomes, I present my weapon, I have my grip is consistent. I have sight alignment, my sight alignment's consistent. Now I have my sight picture is consistent. See it, send it. That's how they train. They get their sight alignment, sight picture, touch it off. And it takes longer to describe it than it does to do it. And that's just from training. That's from going to the range and shooting. Now, there's a bunch of what-if people. There's 2 kinds of what-if people. There's the what-if because you don't know. Like, you genuinely don't know, and you're like, well, what if this happens? What do I do? And then they'll tell you, no big deal, we like those people. Then there's the other what-if people that think they're the God's gift to whatever they're talking about, and they know everything and no one can possibly teach them anything. Those people are dangerous, by the way. And they'll be like, well, what if this? Or what if that? You big dumb idiot. I know better than you. You know? Go take your what ifs and your ass to the range and run your what if scenarios. That's going to help everybody. You're not going to bother people with your stupid what if stuff, and you're not going to have any questions in your own mind. Go run it at the range. You know? Because someone who actually knows, they don't say, well, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that. They said, hey, you know, I know what you're saying, and I agree with it, but I've done this, and it worked for me in this situation. Or, hey, I was in this spot, it was a tough spot to be in, and I did this, and it worked. You know, I haven't done it before, I haven't done it since, but it worked for me. Or something to that effect, you know. That's what it is. But a lot of this, the problem is shooting is expensive, and it requires effort. So more people will sit behind their keyboards and just sit there and bullshit about it than they will actually shooting. And the old 1911, he went to the range and he ran those drills. He went and shot. He was like, hey, I've been practicing my point shooting, and you know, I can use it for this and this, and that's fine. If you want to go train your point shooting, go do it. You know, so you'll know that you can do it under stress and you can get semi-good at it. The thing is, though, it's a lot easier to use your sights. Way easier. And you're already using your sights in your normal shooting. So if you just develop that speed and skill, you'll be very surprised. This video right here, this close contact drill, was not pointing and shooting. I used my sights. And you can see, you know, yeah, it's a paper target, and all I had to do was push off it gently, but I used my sights in that brief period, those 4 shots. So it's doable. You just have to practice. So in the end, is point shooting viable? Yes, but it's such a tight niche where it's good and effective. You don't want to train to use it for everything, and you don't want to apply it to other situations. You want to use it when you absolutely, absolutely have to. I've never killed anybody. I've never shot anybody in the line of duty. I've drawn my weapon in the line of duty. And I've done a lot of room clearing drills. But you do not, with sim rounds and airsoft, mostly airsoft, you do not want to use point shooting. It is a last ditch effort, and yeah, you might have enough muscle memory that you crank off a few solid shots when it's not a stressful situation. You'll be like, damn, I'm good at this. I must be awesome. But the reality is, when your heart's beating so fast, it's translating into your front sight, and your hands are sweaty, and your mouth is dry, and you're trying to, do what you got to do with all this stuff going on at once, let alone the environment itself and how disruptive it can be. Point shooting is taking one more constant out of the equation. It's a lot easier to shoot how you're used to shooting, how you've been training your entire life to shoot. So use your sights, train, go to the range and shoot, and if you have a bunch of what ifs because you think you're better than everybody, go take your what ifs to the range and run them and see if you can do it. But that said, I think everybody knows where I stand. If you have any questions or you want to see anything else, put it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Take care of each other, stay safe, and support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America.